Hello there, welcome along to Anfield. Liverpool against Bayern Munich in the Champions League this evening, and alongside us for the ride, Owen, Hargreaves, Garcia and Rio Ferdinand. Nice to see you all. But let's start with the comments from Jurgen Klopp in his pre-match press conference when he was asked what's more important, the Premier League or the Champions League, and he actually said it's clear to Liverpool fans that it's the Premier League. We've been running a poll. Over 80% of the votes have gone for the Premier League rather than the Champions League. Is that a surprise? I mean, look, as a former Liverpool player, is that a surprise? Do you understand the thought process there?
No, I understand. I mean, Liverpool never won the Premier League by itself, and I think it's something that is missed. All the top teams here in England, they've been winning a Champions League. Liverpool done it, so it's something that is missed on the stand. So I'm sure that most of the fans they want it, but also I'm sure as well that all the players they're gonna look with an eye on the Champions League.
How would the players feel if you gave them the option?
I think they'd say the same. I think the Premier League is your bread and butter. I think your Premier League is that's the home country where the team's from. So you want to be the best in your own country. In Europe, I'm sure they'd love that. But listen, behind closed doors, they'll be trying to fight on both fronts. There'll be none of that, like, we'll take it easy in the Champions League and we'll put it all our eggs in one basket with the Premier League. They'll be trying to win everything. And I think professional people, professional football clubs are like that. And I think Liverpool are no different. I just think Klopp has said what is probably on the minds of most Liverpool fans. They do want to win the Premier League because they've never, ever won it.
I suppose the fact that we're having a serious conversation about Champions League or Premier League for Liverpool is actually testament to the work that Klopp's done here the last couple of years, isn't it? This is the sort of... We'd be giggling about this about Liverpool 10 years ago.
Well, it just shows how far they've come, really, that they're even favourites in a game like this. Bayern Munich would have been in 8 quarter-finals in a row. So I think how far they've come in such a short space of time. But I still think all the teams we played on, you had to win every 3 days. So I think to say, we're going to focus on the Premier League over the Champions League, it doesn't work like that. If you want to be the best in the world, which is Liverpool aspiring to be, and they can be, they want to find a way to win the Champions League. They got to a final last year. They're better this season with Alisson. And they're favourites in these 2 games against Bayern Munich. So win this and then win the next one. That's what players do. You go win the next game and focus on who's healthy for the next one.
At the beginning of the season, where you try to get more players to have a deep squad, because you know that on these stages, February, March is when the most of the games are arriving. The toughest, the players are tired. You need players. When you look at the bench, players who can achieve things on the pitch. So I don't think that anybody's going to point one of their competitions. Everybody's going to go outside and try to win both.
And it's a good point, that, actually, because even with the defensive reinforcements over the summer, we are now seeing the toll of injuries for Liverpool, aren't we? And the same applies to Bayern. They've got some big names out as well.
No, definitely. At the end, it is the toughest money after the summer, after the Christmas break, where here in England you continue playing. There's more games, players get more tired, and at the end arrive this kind of moment where you look at the players, you see that there is some of them getting injured, and there is more to come because at the end the competition are tougher and tougher.
But it's not even just the physicalities of it all and remaining injury free. I think the mental state of the players is so key at this point. But like Owen alluded to there, is getting up every 3 days. It's not an easy thing to do, and that takes a certain type of player, certain type of manager, and the environment that they create is so key at this point.
It's easier, isn't it, really, when you play every 3 days? You think for Liverpool now, they've been off for 10 days. They haven't played a game for 10 days. I know Bayern, they won 3-2 against... You get into a rhythm. All of a sudden, you're off for 10 days. You start the game. You're not sure if, do you go explosive or are you a bit tentative? So this crowd will make it explosive. But I think having 10 days off maybe is a bit of a downside for Liverpool.
And does it also sharpen the minds a bit when you get to the knockout stages rather than the group stages? Does something change in the mentality of the players at this point now in the Champions League?
There ain't no, we'll make the points up in the next 3 or 4 games. This is like do or die situation, and it's cup football. And I think that now you're playing against the best teams around, and I think Liverpool today, I think going into this game as favourites, I think this Bayern team isn't as strong a Bayern team we'd seen over the last in recent years. So this is a fantastic opportunity for Liverpool.
Really, the focus gets a bit sharper though, doesn't it, for these games? I remember Sir Alex used to always say before a big game, concentration. Most important thing, concentration. And obviously we're all concentrated, but he just wanted you to focus that tiny bit more for these moments.
Group stages, you can have a bad game. At these stages, you have about 20 minutes and you are out of the competition.
You can concede a late goal in the group stages and still be fine. Here, you can be winning 2-0 cruising and then all of a sudden concentration lapse. 1 goal is 2-1. Now who's in the driving seat?
Well, you think about the Real Madrid, when Bayern Munich played Real Madrid over 2 legs, they battered Real Madrid, really. 2 mistakes. Was it Rafinha made a mistake and Ulreich made a mistake, really. 2 mistakes cost them, even though they were probably the better side over 2 games. So mistakes could easily decide this game today.
I suppose it's a good point, isn't it? Liverpool lost 3 of their group stage games. Won 3, lost 3. There's none of that now. This is ruthless.
No, exactly. At this stage, and like Rio was saying, these are the best of the best teams, the best of the best players. Today, you go to one of the top strikers up front. You have one mistake, and you know they're going to get it in.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, it's nice and quiet here at the moment. Just a few stewards zipping around, seeing what's going on, preparing for the influx of the Anfield faithful. They'll be on their way before too long. And, of course, we get going live on BT Sport tonight from 7 o'clock for an 8 o'clock kickoff. My guests and I going through all of the build-up to the game, so we'll see you a little bit later on. Thanks for joining us for this Facebook Live, and enjoy it tonight. It's a big one here at Anfield, a proper Champions League night. Liverpool against Bayern Munich, and the home side are the favourites for the game. See you from 7 o'clock. Bye-bye.